Now that Diwali is over, electioneering for Bihar has truly begun. And the biggest move has been the opposition declaring that Tejashwi Yadav will be their chief ministerial candidate, putting it on record, even though some within the opposition had some apprehensions about it. And the real surprise, the deputy chief minister will be Mukesh Sahani, the leader of a very small party called the VIP party. So the very obvious question this week is, why is 45-year-old leader of a community that makes just 2% votes being given so much importance by the Grand Alliance? I found out. First, let me make very clear the basis of what I'm about to say. I'm yet to travel on the ground in Bihar, but relied on my colleagues who have gone there and also my contacts in both the government and the opposition, people who formulate strategy in Bihar. And on both sides of the political line, they agreed that this is quite a significant moment for the election because one side has committed and revealed its cards. The ruling camp, meanwhile, has repeatedly and clearly said that the elections will be fought under Nitish Kumar, who's held on to the seat for the last 20 years. Yes, the joke there is that elections are held in Bihar not to elect a government, but to choose who will sit in the opposition. Sometimes it's the BJP in the opposition, sometimes it's RJD Congress, but the chief minister remains constant, Nitish Kumar. However, there has been some mixed signals about whether he will remain chief minister even if they win this time. He is 74 years old, and amid speculation about his health, Home Minister Amit Shah avoided a clear answer by saying that the Chief Minister will be decided by elected MLAs. So that's where the BJP, which for the first time is fighting equal seats as its alliance partner JDU, stands. It's often considered a safer stand because why would you want to upset some allies and their supporters by committing to one name? But that's exactly what the opposition has done. In an alliance which includes the Congress, the left and other smaller parties, along with the dominant RJD, they chose their relatively new partner Mukesh Sahani as the deputy chief ministerial face. To look at why they did so, I have to give you a brief rundown of the castes in Bihar because their caste is the basis of how politicians decide everything. So Tejashwi Yadav, or the RJD in Bihar, has a traditional voter base of his own community, the Yadavs, and the Muslims. The Yadavs make up 14% of the electorate and Muslims make up 18%, which means they can claim to have supporters who make up 32% of the voters in the state. How does that stack up against the BJP or the NDA? Their traditional base of the BJP is the upper caste, which makes up 15%. But they have also successfully wooed other groups, which parties like the Congress also woo, like the Dalits, which make up 20% of the electorate. The fight between the government and the opposition really is for the extremely backward community or EBC vote, which makes up a whopping 36% of the voters. The challenge has always been that the Yadavs, who have a dominant image, put off the other backward communities from voting on the same side. And so, even though Nitish Kumar is from a very small 2% voters Kurmi community, he was able to stitch other backwards like the Kushwahas and Musahars on his side, which means that just numerically, a greater number of voters went for the JDU-BJP combined because they had a greater coalition of upper caste, backward caste and EBCs. And that's where this gambit comes in. Mukesh Sahani, who's a former Bollywood set designer, calls himself the son of Mala, the fishing community. He's been in politics just for about a decade and at the moment he holds no seats. So why was he wooed by the opposition? Because as a wise politician once explained to me, if you want to be a neta, a politician anywhere, you have to have a group of people you call your own. So the Paswan community has Chirag Paswan as the leader, the Kushwahas have Upendra Kushwaha, and Jitin Ram Manjhi has the Musahars. So the reason why Sahani got this plum post is that where the opposition had very little access to EBC voters, they are hoping that having an EBC face like him will not just get them that extra 2% that he commands, but also act as an influencer among EBCs. That 36% of the Bihar voters that has been elusive till now for the opposition, they're hoping will at last look at them also as a viable option. There are a couple of problems with this gambit though. First, it's unclear how influential Sahani will be because he has never won an election. His party did win 4 seats in the last election, but that was when he was with the NDA. All those MLAs jumped ship and left Sahni's BIP party and joined BJP. The opposition feels certain that Sahni is worth it because he's a significant presence also in North Bihar, areas where the opposition didn't do so well last election. So in places like Champaran, Kosi and Mithila, there is a significant Mala presence and associated Chauhan and Nonia caste which make up 10,000 or more votes in every constituency. This can be a make or break in tight elections like we saw last time round. BJP of course counters this by saying that their EBC hold is so vast and strong that this 2% that Sahni has is not going to make a dent. Second, they say in order to woo this 2% Mala or EBC vote, will they lose other social segments? The BJP leader felt convinced that pitching Sahni as a deputy chief minister has alienated the Dalits who were hoping that the Congress's local chief and Dalit Neta Rajesh Ram would get that deputy chief minister role. However, the opposition counters this by saying that Dalits will certainly not go towards the BJP and JDU instead of them because both these parties, the BJP and the JDU, have given a disproportionate number of tickets to upper castes. Out of 101 candidates, upper castes made up 48 for the BJP, and even the JDU gave 22 out of their 101 to upper castes. So that in a nutshell is the reason why this relative newcomer has shot to prominence in this crucial election in Bihar. As one can see, caste is still the big ruling factor in Bihar elections, but so is Nitish Kumar, who may be fighting his last big election, and Tejashwi Yadav's own credibility is also a big factor here too. As the election dates get closer, and definitely on November 14th, which is counting day, we will look at all these aspects even closer. Till then, like, share and leave your comments below.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले.
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.